And now, from the heart of redneck country, Rednecks.tv brings you all the news that's not fit to use. Rednecks.tv.
Hi neighbors, get the kids off the couch, open that pie hole you call a mouth of yours, and give me a great big yahoo. I'm one of your hosts today on Rednecks.tv, Mr. A. Big Johnson. Sit back, relax, enjoy the show, but most importantly, lock your women folk in their rooms because I'm about to introduce the ladies' man of the Johnson family, my good friend and my cousin, Mr. Hugh G. Well, it's actually Hugh G. Johnson. We call him Huge.
Well, Big, thanks for that great introduction. Yes, my name is Hugh G. Johnson, and Big and I share the same grandpappy.
Indeed. Yes, we do. We do.
Some of you old folks, some of you old folks out there might remember our grandpappy. His name was Mr. Really Big Johnson.
Yes, it was.
In fact, you were named after him, weren't you?
Well, I took after him.
Took after him. Well, folks, I seen Bubba last night down at the bait shop. Bubba told me that he was going to head out to Rotten Crotch Lake today and do a little catfishing. Said the catfish were dang near jumping in the boat with him.
Yeah.
Said you could throw a bare hook out there, they'd bite it. Didn't need no stink bait, and he was going to go fishing. Wanted to know if I'd sit in for him today, so here I am.
Indeed.
Now, what are we going to talk about today, Big?
Well, before we get into that, I just want to let you folks know that our old buddy and our usual co-host, Mr. Bubba Taylor, that's the excuse he was using for not being here. I happen to know the real scoop, and it just seems as how he exposed himself to a sheep farmer over here in Arkansas, and he's in jail.
Holy. Maybe we ought to check on Bond.
That's not true. I made that up. No, really, folks, he is on a fishing trip. And he said after he got through fishing, he was going to stop off to the auction to get a whole truckload of concrete blocks for the trailer park out here. We can put all the trailers up on blocks. So, anyway, to answer your question, folks, today we're going to talk about Katie Couric and her new theme music, and also something so new and so exciting that I'm going to bet that nobody in our TV audience has ever heard of it before. And then last but not least, in our product review section today, we will be reviewing some feminine hygiene products.
Well, I tell you what, I like that Katie. For her age, she is hot.
Indeed, she's hot.
And I hear she makes about $15 million a year, too. I bet she never needed any feminine hygiene products.
I bet she did. I don't know, but I bet she did.
Well, now,
but I'll tell you what. Yep, with $15 million a year, you can turn a sow's ear into a silk purse. And from what I understand, even those kind of folks could probably use feminine hygiene products. But even as hot as she is, there's something more exciting, even more exciting than she, that we're going to talk about today.
Well, what's that all about, Big?
Well, it's something that I'm excited about, and I think our viewers out here on the tech side of things is we're going to talk about metamaterials.
Okay.
Yeah, I can tell I caught you by surprise, probably as well as some of our viewers.
Well,
actually, metamaterials is a new science. In fact, it's so new that if you Yahoo the word, now notice I didn't say Google the word, because we're still a little bit pissed off at Google for stealing our damn money. But if you Yahoo the word metamaterials and this new technology, you're only going to get about 100,000 hits. But like if you like Yahoo, do a search on Yahoo for rednecks, you're going to get probably around 3 million hits, right? That is how new it is. So, I bet you're wondering,
what's it all about, Big? I mean, what's the big secret? What are we going to do?
Well, this new metamaterials technology is so cool because it makes things invisible.
What?
Yeah, I'm serious as I can be.
And, I've lost some weight recently.
You
I turned
have?
sideways. People say I'm almost invisible. And
Yeah, you're almost invisible, all right. Key word there being almost. You know what I'm saying? No,
Thank
no,
you,
no,
Big.
no, no, no. I really, I could hardly see you. Almost couldn't. No, what I'm talking about is real cutting edge science. You see, they get light waves and radio waves to act like air when it flows around and over an airplane wing. Do you follow me at all?
I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
Okay, here's the deal. When light waves, well, let's go back to the air a minute. When it flows over an airplane wing, the airstream goes under and over the airplane wing.
It creates
okay?
lift.
Exactly. Well, it creates lift, but do you know why it creates lift?
No.
Because actually it speeds up as it goes over. Okay? As the light waves, it's kind of the same thing. As the light waves or radio waves pass around an object, they are sped up and directed around the object that is cloaked. Okay?
Okay.
All right. It's kind of like the Romulans' cloaking device on Star Trek.
Yeah.
For all of us Trek techies, I mean all of our viewers Trek techies, they'll understand that. So, welcome to the world of what scientists are now calling left-handed materials or negative refractive index metamaterials. That's a mouthful.
Wow. Well, this sounds interesting. How long you think it'd be before I can go downtown and buy one of them Romulan suits, like a three-piece suit? You know what I'd do?
What would you do with it?
I'd get that three-piece suit and I'd be invisible. You know where I'd wear it?
Pray tell, where would you wear it?
I'd
Once
wear
you
it-
found one to fit your almost invisible frame.
I was sitting there thinking it'd be funny. I'd wear it to funerals.
Yeah?
And I'd be invisible, and
Nobody can see you, yeah,
when the
yeah, okay,
preacher
so what are
gets
you
down to
gonna do?
that part, he
Yeah.
says, "Let's have a moment of silence for our dearly beloved." And it's all quiet, and the church is real quiet. I'd walk up to the coffin and
I'm on
open
the
and
edge of the
close
seat,
the lid
yeah.
and say, "Let me out of here! Help me!"
Well, that'd go over big, wouldn't it? Well, for starters, where are you going to get a suit to fit you? Tulsa tent and awning?
Big and tall store.
Yeah, okay, the big and tall
And you
stuff.
know
No. All right, no, seriously, folks. What scientists have already demonstrated is how this can work on radio waves. Yeah, I'm serious. This is real stuff, folks. We're telling you the real scoop here. It seems like right now it will work on signal frequencies of like how something like how our chroma key system works. Only like where we use our chroma key system, it makes anything that's green turn invisible. Okay?
Right.
We have an example. Our screen here in the background, folks, as we've seen on one of our previous episodes, is green. So that anything that we use that is green will turn it invisible. So what my old cousin Hugh and I are going to do is we're going to pull this up, and it should make us invisible from the neck down. Okay? Something like this is what we're talking about. They have some work to do before they can make it work for light. But they think maybe in 10 years or so, they'll be able to make things invisible to light and radio waves. That would mean the technology would work for like super stealth airplanes.
Oh,
Yeah, how cool is that? That would mean all kinds of things that it would open up doors and possibilities that we've never even heard of. And for our viewers, if you want to learn more about it, there is a Dr. David Smith at Duke University that has a good website explaining how this all works. You can visit the link at the bottom of your computer screen, or you can also visit our show notes to find the most informative information on these links.
All right. Well, let's get on to Katie Couric. Have you seen those legs? Man, she's got to be working out.
As a matter of fact, I have. Those are certainly some fine legs. She's one fine lady, but you know what?
What's that, Big?
She's scared to death, folks like us.
Well, that being the ladies' man and all, I know what you mean about that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let me give you an example of what I mean by how she's scared of folks like us. Now, this is before she went on the air a week or so ago. They spent months getting a 10-second opening for the music jingle, getting that ready for her show. They hired the guy who wrote the theme music for the Titanic movie and produced over 100 variations of her 10-second opening just for the theme music.
Couldn't they just use something like our banjo music?
You know, that would lend a touch of class to just almost any TV show. No, really they couldn't, because like I'm saying, they're terrified of guys like us. Here we are, a couple of good old country boys with a couple of cameras, some good microphones, and some lights, you know, a little studio here, and we can compete with the likes of, like, say, CBS News.
You betcha.
Yeah, indeed. So in fact, since we started releasing our episodes on YouTube, we've had over 3 freaking million people look at our shows.
That's a lot of people.
That is
a lot of people.
I'm serious as I can be. On top of that, you've got people downloading us by RSS feed into their web browsers, into their iPods. I'm serious as I can be. Our ratings are going up every week. Nothing against you, but without our good friend and co-host Bubba Taylor, our ratings may not do so well this week. But no, I'm serious. We've probably already had 5 million people see our work, and that, to me, it's kind of scary. Dang scary.
So, well, how are Katie's ratings?
Well, they're dropping like a rock. Did you know that? Can you believe it? Even with legs like that, they're dropping like a rock. And do you know why?
No.
I'll tell you. To date, they still haven't reported on some of the things that we have, like metamaterials. And the guys that are doing our show are hiding those gorgeous legs under a desk half the time.
So you're telling me, Big, that guys like us, we're more entertaining and we're more informative than they are? And to top things off, you'll never see Katie Couric. I guarantee you this, you'll never see Katie Couric do a review of feminine hygiene products.
Probably a safe bet. Well, I imagine you're probably right. So, speaking of the feminine hygiene products,
Absolutely.
what do you think we ought to do about that? Should we drag them up and do it?
Well, first of all, Big, I seen when we come into the studio, there was we had a big variety of products. Did somebody send those in to us? How did we get those?
I'll tell you how we got them. Velma Sue, my dear little sweetie pie, sent me to the store to pick up some of those things for her. And you would not believe the amount of stuff that's available out there.
I tell you, you got one up on me, Big. I've never done that.
I'll tell you what, I did my homework. And since I didn't want to go home and get in trouble for getting the wrong thing,
Absolutely. I know what happened last time.
I just kind of started grabbing stuff off the shelf, and I picked up a pretty wide variety of the feminine things just to make the little woman happy.
Okay.
Well, it turns out that I got too much stuff that she didn't want, didn't have any use for. So now, so I don't waste my dang money, we have got to come up with a solution, an alternative use for these things.
You mean the feminine products?
That's what I'm talking about.
You mean me and you?
Even you and me, us redneck big boys, have got to find a way to use feminine products, feminine hygiene products.
But these,
of course, hygiene is important to all of us, not just
really.
us.
We don't have the right equipment, Big.
Well, that's why we've got to come up with alternative uses.
Oh, okay.
So what we need to do is drag some of these things up here, kind of go over them, look over them, describe them a little bit, and see what we can come up with so that my money's not wasted.
So we're talking about me and you and our fellow rednecks out there, the guys that are out in the field hunting and fishing and camping and
That's the
four-wheeling. What we're going to be, what would we use these things for?
Well, that's what we got to come up with.
All right.
All right, let's do that. So let's just get some of this stuff here. If you folks will excuse us, we're going to get the stuff, set it up here, and we'll be right back. Well, we're back, folks, and as you can see, we've gotten our wide assortment of feminine hygiene products here lined up for you. And my old cuz Hugh and I are going to be trying to come up with some alternative uses for them. Now, the first thing we have here is the first thing that I actually pulled off the shelf. This is your Carefree Body Shape Breathable.
Sounds like exercise equipment.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah, these are actually liners for the, how shall we say, pantaloons?
Bloomers.
We think, yeah, exactly. Well, us rednecks have huge families and we go to lots of family functions.
Absolutely.
We do. And there are so many of us, and sometimes our family tree don't fork and we don't recognize each other. So what we've done is come up with an ideal way to identify ourselves to all of our cousins and brethren at these family reunions, and that is to make name tags out of them. I can place it right up here above my I Am the Man from Nantucket t-shirt, and folks will no doubt be able to tell that I am Big Johnson.
You are the big man from Nantucket.
Exactly, exactly. And here is my old buddy, I mean, it's as plain as the nose on your face. This guy is Hugh Johnson.
Thank you,
Hey,
Hugh.
it could be construed as Hugh G Johnson, but anyway. So that's the use that we came up with for these little units right here, folks. Next up, we have your Summer's Eve Feminine Deodorant Spray, also known as FDS.
Now, Big, can you only use that in the summer?
Well, you can use it anytime. You can use it for more than just that particular thing, if you know what I mean. You can use it in the outhouse when it gets to smelling too bad and the flies are just foaming everywhere. You just, give it a little of this. Or,
Big!
you can do this. There's more places that you can use it on than you know where. Right?
Absolutely.
It don't smell bad. It smells,
Well, but I don't think you usually get that big of a dose of it, though, at a time in your face.
no, but sometimes with an outhouse like mine, you need a big dose. You know what I'm saying?
I've been to your outhouse, Big.
That would improve almost anybody's outhouse. Next up, we have your Playtex Petals Personal Cleansing Cloths.
Petals.
Indeed. I suppose that would be to cleanse your personals. Care for one?
Oh, yeah, don't mind if I do. Thank you.
I suspect I don't need it.
I tell you, at them family reunions,
Yeah?
you know what? I always cook a big brisket and some ribs.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You know when you get done with the brisket and ribs, what's
Yeah,
next?
your fingers are all nasty.
There we
Yeah,
go.
exactly.
I tell you
kinda
what,
need
the
to clean around the
barbecue
old-
sauce,
Yeah,
I think it even smells a little pretty.
by doggies. Yeah, so folks, you can use this at your next barbecue. You don't have to just use it for your feminine things, if you know what we're saying.
Not a total waste.
That's right. Okay, next we have your Stay Free Ultra Thin 4-wall protection with a touch of cotton. How nice. Now these are
That's good.
regulars with wings.
Well, that's
I see that we have several products here with wings. I'm thinking spicy.
I'm thinking some hot wings.
Exactly, hot wings, spicy hot wings. Now, folks, these may not be edible. We'll let you know.
Buffalo wings.
Buffalo wings, oh yeah, for sure. And Jessica Simpson thinks that they don't fly, but really, this is something completely different.
It'd take a big set of wings to get a buffalo off the
It
ground.
certainly would. Now here, Hugh, I came home with this stuff. I don't even know. Don't have a clue. Okay, but this says here, I think it's French, D-O-U-C-H-E. I don't know. The French have a word when they're fencing. They say
With the epi.
exactly.
Yeah.
Touche.
Yeah, touche.
So this must be Summer's Eve douche. Now
Will you
I
use
don't
that sword fight?
I don't know what a douche is for. I have no idea. But I do know this. When I've been out in the hayfield hauling hay and my sinuses get to bother me, you can use this little baby. You know what I'm saying? Give it a little of this. Yeah, it'll flush those sinuses right out. It's also grape flavored. Hugh, why don't you help us out here with these little units?
Got some hurl plastic right here.
Yeah?
And that one's already grown a tail. It's already trying to get out of there. I'm telling you what. You know, I'll tell you what, Big, we do a lot of hunting, a lot of fishing. We're out in the field.
Yeah?
You know what? We're out there hunting, shooting our shotguns, quail and the dove.
Yeah.
What about a set of earplugs?
That'll work. Buy doggies. Yeah? You know what? It just now occurred to me. My daddy, he got him a bad nosebleed here not too long ago. He had to go to the emergency room because they couldn't get it shut off. I'm serious as I can be. You know what they done? I think this is what they used. It looked real similar.
That one's empty.
I want my money back. There we go. They popped one of these little units up his nose. I guarantee you that will stop a nosebleed, and it will turn heads down on Main Street.
How long did he have to wear that?
Well, just for a couple hours until the bleeding stopped. Okay, as we say in show business, moving right along. What do we have next?
Oh, well, glad you asked. FDS.
Well, I thought we already did that.
This says intimate lubricant.
Intimate lubricant.
I don't think we need to. I don't think this will do any good for your sinuses.
I don't need to lubricate my intimates, I don't think.
I'll tell you what, though. Look at that. That's pretty thick.
Yeah, it is. You know what? I got an idea. I bet I'm thinking the same thing you are.
You thinking a pump action?
Exactly, pump action shotgun.
Pump action on the slide of a 12-gauge shotgun. You're out in the field. We got your
Spray a little light on the old slide of your pump shotgun, folks, and that'll slicker right on down. I'm telling you, that is some. Oh, it has a little gentle warming sensation too. So if you're out duck hunting in freezing cold weather, you can spray a little of that on there, and it'll thaw that baby right out.
It's plenty hot under these lights, Big. We don't need anything to add to that.
You know what? I wonder how this stuff works for the old nose thing. All right, what do we got next?
And looks like we got some Carefree thong.
Carefree what?
Thong. Thong. Thong.
Well, anybody.
What would you wear them on your feet?
Well, I guess so. A thing would go right between your toes.
Yeah, like a pair of thongs.
Well, anybody that wear them other kind of thongs, you know what I'm talking about, them honey floss, that's pretty much carefree anyway. But I see it does have the wings. So again, we're talking maybe spicy, hot.
Now, some of those on our recent bikini contest
Yeah.
could have used these.
They sure could. Yeah, they sure could, especially if it was redneck girls. Yeah.
Those are the only kind.
Well, folks, I guess that's probably all the feminine hygiene products that I came home from the store with. So that's about all we got for you today. Now, I want to remind you, just like we reviewed these things, if you have a product that you would like for us to review, just get a hold of us, email, give us a call, click on the link on your screen, and let us know that you have a product we would like for you to review, because it's very important. We want your advertising dollars.
Well, Big, right? I think that this pretty well proves that we'll review just about anything.
I would say just near about anything. So
especially
folks,
when Bubba's gone.
That's right. When Bubba's not here running the show, we pretty much just kind of go nuts a little bit. So that's about it, folks. We want to thank you for joining us, for allowing us into your computer again this episode. And be sure and stay tuned for the next episode of www.rednecks.tv.
Following this film, please keep your company name and your product in mind.